You think you know where your money goes? You track the big stuff, rent, groceries, maybe that coffee habit everyone loves to blame. But here's the truth. The real money killers aren't on your bank statement. They're invisible, they're silent, and they're draining your future right now, while you sleep, while you scroll, while you tell yourself you'll get serious about money next month. Hey, it's your favorite little investor, the investing ant, and today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the 3 expenses nobody talks about, the ones that don't show up on any receipt but cost you more than almost anything else. These aren't just about dollars, they're about years. They're about the life you could be building. So let's dig in. Invisible expense number 1, the cost of waiting. Now, I know what you're thinking. Waiting doesn't cost anything, right? Wrong. Waiting is the most expensive thing you'll ever do with your money, and here's why. Every day you wait to start investing. 2, start saving. To start taking your financial future seriously, you're not just missing out on putting money aside, you're missing out on something far more powerful. Compound growth. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're a little ant, and you find a single grain of rice. You could eat it today, sure. But what if you planted it? What if that one grain could become 2, and those 2 could become 4, and those 4 could become 8? That's how money works when you give it time. But here's the kicker. The grain you plant today is worth so much more than the grain you plant 5 years from now, because it has more time to multiply, more seasons to grow. Let me give you real numbers, because this isn't just ant philosophy, this is math. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25, and you get an average return of 8% a year, by the time you're 65, you'll have about $350,000. Not bad for $100 a month, right? But here's where it gets painful. If you wait just 5 years and start at 30 instead of 25, with that same $100 a month and that same 8% return, you end up with only about $230,000. You waited 5 years, just 5, and it cost you over $120,000. That's the price of waiting. That's invisible expense number 1. And it's not just about investing, it's about everything. Waiting to pay off debt means more interest piling up. Waiting to ask for that raise means another year at the same salary. Waiting to learn a new skill means watching someone else get the opportunity you wanted. Every single day of waiting has a compound cost, just like every day of action has a compound benefit. In the colony, we have a saying, the best time to carry a grain was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Not Monday, not next month, not when you feel ready. Now invisible expense number 2, decision fatigue. This one's sneaky, and most people don't even realize it's happening. Decision fatigue is what happens when you spend so much mental energy making small, meaningless decisions that you have nothing left for the big, important ones. And let me tell you, it's costing you way more than you think. Picture this. You wake up and immediately start deciding, what should I wear? What should I eat? Should I check my phone or work out first? Do I need gas today? Should I buy lunch or pack something? Which show should I watch tonight? Harmless questions, right? But here's what's happening in your brain. Every single decision, no matter how small, uses up a little bit of your willpower, a little bit of your focus, a little bit of your energy. And by the time you get to the decisions that actually matter, like should I invest this extra money or spend it? Should I work on my side project or scroll social media? Should I meal prep for the week or order takeout again? You're exhausted, you're running on empty. So you take the easy path. You choose comfort. You choose later. And that's how you end up broke. Not because you made one big bad decision, but because you made 1,000 tiny, tired ones. In the ant world, we don't waste energy deciding which grain to pick up next. We follow the trail. We build systems. We make the important decisions once, and then we let the system carry us forward. That's how you beat decision fatigue. By removing decisions, automate your savings, set up automatic investments. Decide once that every Friday is meal prep day. Decide once what time you're going to bed. Decide once what your morning routine looks like. The fewer meaningless choices you have to make, the more energy you have left for the choices that actually build wealth, that actually move your life forward. Because here's the invisible cost. Every time you waste your decision-making energy on something that doesn't matter, you're stealing from your future. You're making it harder to choose the salad over the burger, the investment over the impulse buy, the workout over the couch. And those choices, the ones you make when you're tired and depleted, those are the ones that shape your life. If this is resonating with you, drop a little ant emoji in the comments and let's grow this colony together. Because what I'm about to share next might be the biggest invisible expense of all. Invisible expense number 3, lifestyle creep. This is the silent killer. This is the one that makes you feel like you're doing well while quietly stealing your future. Lifestyle creep is what happens when your spending rises to match your income, when every raise becomes a reason to upgrade, when every bonus disappears into a slightly nicer version of the life you already had. It feels good in the moment. It feels like progress, but it's a trap. Let me tell you how it works. You get your first real job and you're making, let's say, $3,000 a month. You budget carefully. You live with roommates. You cook at home. You're scrappy, you're disciplined, and you're proud of yourself. Then you get a raise. Now you're making $4,000 a month. Suddenly that cramped apartment feels too small. You deserve your own place, right? So you upgrade. Your rent goes up by $500. Then you realize you're making good money now, so maybe you can afford a nicer car, or a gym membership, or that subscription service, or eating out. A few more times a week, before you know it, you're making $4,000 a month and somehow still living paycheck to paycheck, just like you were at $3,000. This is lifestyle creep, and it's everywhere. It's the reason people making six figures feel broke. It's the reason some families earning $200,000 a year have less saved than families earning 60. Because it doesn't matter how much you make if you spend it all. In the colony, when we gather extra food, during a good season, we don't eat it all at once. We store it, we save it. We prepare for winter, for the lean times, for the future. But humans, you get a little extra, and instead of building your reserves, you buy a bigger house you don't need, a fancier car you can't afford, a lifestyle that looks impressive but leaves you fragile, vulnerable, and stressed. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Wealth isn't built by earning more, it's built by keeping more. You could make $1 million a year, but if you spend $1 million a year, you're broke. You're just broke with nicer stuff. Real wealth, lasting wealth, the kind that gives you freedom and options and peace of mind, comes from the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And every time you let lifestyle creep steal that gap, you're giving away your future. You're trading freedom for stuff. You're trading time for appearances. And it's invisible because it feels like you're treating yourself, like you're enjoying life, like you're finally living the way you deserve. But here's what you're really doing. You're running faster and faster on a treadmill that never stops. So how do you stop it? You lock in your lifestyle. When you get a raise, you pretend you didn't. You keep living on your old income and you funnel that extra money straight into savings, straight into investments, straight into your future. You make the conscious decision that your lifestyle stays flat while your income grows. That gap, that beautiful, powerful gap between earning and spending, that's where wealth is born. That's where freedom lives. And the best part, it's easier than you think because you were already living on less. You already proved you could do it. Now you just keep doing it while your bank account grows, while your investments compound, while your future self gets richer and richer. So let's bring this all together. 3 invisible expenses. The cost of waiting every day you delay is a day of compound. Growth you'll never get back. Decision fatigue, every meaningless choice steals energy from the choices that matter. And lifestyle creep, the silent thief that makes you feel successful while keeping you broke. These aren't line items on your credit card statement. You can't budget for them. But they're costing you more than your rent, more than your car, more than almost anything else in your life. And the beautiful, empowering truth is this. You can stop paying them. You can start today. You can plant your first grain right now. You can build a system that protects your energy. You can lock in your lifestyle and watch your wealth grow. I know it's not always easy. I know the world is loud and flashy and constantly telling you to spend, to wait, to treat yourself, to live for today. But you're different. You're here in this colony because you know there's another way. You know that small steps, taken consistently, lead to places most people never reach. You know that the little ant, carrying one grain at a time, isn't foolish. She's building something that will last. And that's exactly what you're doing. Every dollar you save, every automatic transfer you set up, every time you choose future freedom over present comfort, you're building grain by grain, step by step, dollar by dollar. So here's what I want you to do. First, stop waiting. If you've been telling yourself you'll start investing when you have more money, when you understand it better, when the timing is right, stop. Start with whatever you have. $10, $5, $1, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you start. Second, eliminate one decision this week. Just one. Automate something. Set up a system. Free up that mental energy for the choices that will actually change your life. And third, look at your last raise, your last bonus, your last bit of extra income. Did it go into your future or did it disappear into your lifestyle? Be honest, and if it disappeared, make a different choice. Next time you've got this. You've always had this. If this message hit home, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me which invisible expense you're going to tackle first. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we're building something special here. We're building a colony of people who think differently, who act differently, who understand that the path to wealth isn't complicated, it's just consistent. And I'll be here every step of the way, reminding you that you're capable of more than you know, that your future is brighter than you imagine, and that every small action you take today is shaping the life you'll live tomorrow. Because here, in our colony, every small step counts, and it's easier than you think.